Hello, this is James Dean. I want to talk to you today about whether or not you would purchase a car from a manufacturer that has killed hundreds of people due to their negligence and gotten away with it. That company would be General Motors. General Motors, this process that the culture they currently have started in 2009 when they were going bankrupt, but it was their own fault. Consumer Reports rated the 10 best vehicles in the United States, and they were all Japanese car companies. General Motors brought it on themselves. They insisted on making SUVs. They didn't make many fuel-efficient cars. So they got their bailout. So did Chrysler. Ford didn't take one. And they never have fully paid it back. And the worst thing that they've done was they had a company called Delphi, and Delphi made electric harnesses and things like that for General Motors. Well, one of the things that they made was ignition switches. They made these switches and they were faulty, and Delphi notified General Motors that they were faulty. But General Motors went ahead and put them in their vehicles. Well, what would happen was someone would be driving and their car would turn off. So some people had wrecks, and because the ignition wasn't on, the airbags didn't deploy, and all of this was General Motors denied it all, and Reuters broke a investigation about this that General Motors knew. Well, they knew for 10 years that they were putting bad ignition switches in their cars. The part that needed to be in there was only 57 cents, but General Motors didn't do anything about it. Finally, when all of this broke, they were forced to do it. General Motors themselves admit that 124 people died due to these switches. And that's on the low side, because that's all that General Motors will admit. But several news organizations believe it was closer to 200. Well, the government fined General Motors $900,000, and that was pretty much it. Well, if you think about it, there are Volkswagen executives that are in prison right now because they fudged on EPA results. General Motors outright killed people, and they knew it. No criminal charges, nothing. They just let them go. Then, some years later, the Takata airbags, General Motors put them in their vehicles. Takata recalled them. GM recalled them. But while they were recalling them, they were still putting faulty airbags in their new cars. And these bags were, there was something wrong when they built up too much pressure. And when they went off, they actually just blew up the steering wheel, and metal and shrapnel just went right through people, killing quite a few people. Well, to this day, General Motors hasn't done a real recall. Every year they go to the government and they get another year grace to do whatever they say they're doing. And I'm not sure that they're ever going to do it. But that's the point that I wanted you to know that, and I know a lot of companies are dirty, and we're just talking about GM today, but they're some of the dirtiest, and like I said, they never have really been punished. So, like I said, the question to you is, would you buy a GM car, knowing the things you know? Choice, it's up to you. Thank you.